Hello, everyone. Hello. What is going on over here? There it goes. Sorry, already having some issues with starting this thing up today. It's weird. I have to start like the lives in like a specific order or it doesn't work. And I started them out of order and it did not like it today. So that's why we had a few little blanking moments. I apologize. We're here now. We're doing well. We back at this thing. We'll see how it goes today. Tatted Tech, I did know that they were going to on concert, going in concert together. Um, but you actually missed the probably the second best band in there. Pix, that's nice. Yeah, it's Bring Me the Horizon and the Plot, and you are playing a tour, and Motionless is also joining. that's the correct order of what you should have said. Ooh, cover up over here. Jesus. All right. Ryan, are you and Ari still dating? Why are you? Which one of us are you interested in? Who's asking, Ryan? No, yeah, Tad Tech, we're already we are, Ryan. I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Let's not get everybody up in the up in their fields day. I'm just joking. I don't see both of you often. Yeah, because we're both usually on live at the same time on different lives. Yeah. What happened to Iron Maiden Run for the Hills? That went away. When I started. Hey, Name, how are you? That went away when I started going to other platforms that have much stricter copyright infringement rules. Can we say that? Is that good enough? That went away when I went to platforms that had much stricter copyright infringement rules. Much stricter. So I had to stop doing that. Yeah, that's what happened though. I enjoyed my soundboard though. I've actually pulled up my soundboard in a while. I don't even remember what like the hotkeys for everything. I don't even remember what the hotkeys were for everything, honestly. See, for y'all people on the news side of Poly, back in the day. Well, Cherry, someone or Vicky, somebody's just went away, so I just lost one right there. Kim, I would like If I was you, I would go to the not one you're on. Personally. I would go to the not one you're on. But that's just me. That's just me. I think the quality is better other places. And I think that it lags probably a lot less. You definitely get higher quality. That's for damn sure. But hey, teach their own. Teach their own. Ugh. All right. Well, welcome in, everyone. Oh, my volume's down. That's why I didn't hear that, because I turned my own volume down. There we go. That sounds better. Just so let you know, I am always late on Thursdays. Wednesdays. Wednesdays are always my late day. Because I go and play. I go play tennis with my kid. I go play tennis with my kid on Wednesday, every Wednesday. So I'm always going to be late. Just thought I'd let you guys know. So if you guys are new here, just know that Wednesdays are my late day. Okay? So just thought I'd let you know. I will always also be late on this Sunday for the exact same reason. So I know normally on Saturdays and Sundays I start at 10. I will be starting on 10 on Saturday. So that'll be normal. Sunday I will be a little bit later, 10:30, 11-ish. Because I'm going to play tennis in the morning. So yep, just I'll let you guys know. Also, I will not be on tomorrow or the next day. So you are going to have to get your Polyfix tonight. You are going to have to get your Polyfix tonight because I am going to be off tomorrow and the next day. Okay. Tomorrow, because if you guys watch me for any length of time, you know I do not miss a Chargers game. And they happen to be playing the Thursday night game this week. So I'll be there. I'll be watching the game tomorrow and not here with y'all. And then Friday, my daughter has a performance. And so I won't be here on Friday. I'm off on Fridays all the time anyway, for that exact reason. So I will not be there tomorrow, and I will not be there Friday. So I won't be back until Saturday. But if you guys really, really miss me, and you guys are like, man, I just have to watch Poly, I'm going to lose my mind if not, okay? All of my recordings are always on the YTs, on the Red app. So maybe catch one you missed. I had some really good ones this weekend. Saturday and Sunday were really good lives. So maybe if you missed them, go back and watch those. That'll get your fix over for the rest of the week. Huh? Have the train guy fill in. Just have him go live for 2 hours. 2-3 hours. Just have Dave the train guy just tell you train stats for like 2-3 hours. Honestly, I'd probably listen to that for like a good while. I'd probably listen to that for a good while. Probably longer than I'd like to admit. Oh my god, I'm missing my iPad. I'm missing my iPad today. That's okay. We're going to go without it. All right. Yeah, just Dave the train guy for 3 hours. I honestly, it'd probably be a better show than I can put on. To be completely honest with you. Probably a better show than I could put on. Probably a better show than I can put on. Yo, can we get huge W's in the chat for CJ for the 5 gifted memberships to start out the live? Why is that not showing up? CJ, thank you. Why is it not showing up? Why is it not showing up? It's not showing up because something's broken. So I'll figure that out in a second. But while we're doing that, CJ, thank you so much for the 5 gifted to start off the live. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I need to figure out why that's not showing up. Also, I need to get my... Oh, get rid of that. Something's just... Something's wrong today, and that's okay. Things went much worse yesterday. So... We're already doing better than we were before. So... We're already doing better than we were before. So, hey, yesterday was a rough one. Yesterday was a rough one. Okay, so we're going to see if we can make it through on this one. And JT, thank you so much for the 5 gifteds. I really appreciate that. W's in the chat for JT for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, JT. Big W's in the chat for JT for that 5 gifted. Looks like Christy, Fuzzy, OR, Matthew, Chance. Whole bunch of people got one over there. Big W's in the chat. Big W, extra W's if you just got one of those memberships. God, memberships are just growing. I love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. It's not popping up anywhere. All right, we might be missing the chat for a bit. Wait, hold on. What is that on my screen? Oh no, it's nothing. It's nothing. All right. Oh well. I'll fix that while we're in the first conversation. I don't quite know how I'm going to fix it, but I will fix it. I will fix it eventually, but that's okay. Cool. Let's get ready and open up these phone lines, open up these chats, open up all that fun stuff. See if we got any guest requests anywhere. I'm sure somebody wants to talk to me this wonderful morning. Maybe. This morning for somebody. Feels like the morning. No, it doesn't. It feels tired. I'm ready to go sleep. Anyways, let's open up these phone lines and get this thing Oh my goodness. Hold up. Guys, we got Taurus with 5 more gifted memberships. Big W's in chat for Taurus for the 5 more gifted. That is 15 gifted to start the live out. Can we get huge W's for everybody going on here? We are absolutely coming in strong today. Super strong. It's 15's gifteds to start the day. And I had somebody actually became a member too. I saw that. Who was that? That was Did. It was Did. I don't know what your whole screen name is, but Did also became a member. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, and there's Did too with the super chat. Did said, love your stuff. I used to support Trump and you opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I thank you for that, sir. Thank you so much. Big W. Holy crap. Remember somebody was just asking me on live. Somebody was just asking me online a couple days ago, 2-3 days ago. They're like, "Do you ever actually change anyone's mind?" And I was like, "Yeah." Usually not during the debate. It's usually people that come up after and let me know that, hey, that they, that they've changed their support or they've researched things. Or Tad Tech, was that yesterday? God, that was yesterday. Jesus Christ. That was that yesterday was a long live. It felt like 2 lives. And I said that people come back later and let me know that not all the time, but sometimes. And this is what I'm talking about, y'all. So next time somebody comes up and says, "Oh, does anybody ever you ever change anyone's mind? Does it ever happen?" You can remind them of this super chat right here from did he from did he. That's funny. Sorry, I had to say that fast in order to get that going. But anyways. So happens all the time. So big Doja chat for did he. Sorry, that's too funny. That's a funny name. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. All right, let's open up these phone lines, get this thing going while I try to fix why I can't put this up here. Thank you guys so much for the memberships to start off the day. I really, really appreciate that. And the super chat. That is very, very sweet of you. That is very, very sweet of you. All right, let's open them up. We've had some phone calls already. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. You've called 47 times. How old are you?
47? Maybe.
Maybe a little less. I can't count. I lose track after I get done with my fingers.
I was trying to call the number and it wasn't going through, so I was like, "What the heck?"
You're good. I just hadn't opened up the phone lines yet. How old did you say you were?
20.
Awesome. Do you still live at home or do you like pay your own bills?
Left home at 17.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Well, I don't know if that's good. Sounds like maybe not the best, but best for you to be able to stay on this live. So that's really good. So,
yeah.
Anyways, do you still support Trump?
Sort of. I think there's a lot of problems with him, but I'm a little bit more critical of the Democrats than the Republicans.
Yeah. And don't you think that's a problem?
That Trump sucks, kind of? Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, that's definitely a problem, but that you're more critical of one party than you are the other? Shouldn't you be equally as critical to everybody in your government?
Well, no, I am equally critical. I just feel like I more so agree with the Republicans than the Democrats.
Okay, gotcha. So which part of Donald Trump do you agree with more? Is it the felonies or the sexual assaults or the sexualizing a 10-year-old or sexualizing his saying he wanted to have sex with, he would add sex in common with his daughter, or the defrauding of children's cancer charities, or
I think everyone can agree.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think everyone can agree we need the Epstein list. I mean, at the end of the day, this needs to come out, and the cover-up is real. But the reason why I feel like I'm a little bit more associated with the Republicans is because I think the Democrats just always double down, in the sense that, for example, when there's like a major conflict, I feel like the Republicans are more likely to sort of mediate the situation a little bit more than Democrats. I mean, it is admirable to always like fight for what you believe in and stuff like that, but I believe that there is a certain point where it becomes slightly less advantageous. You know what I mean?
No, I have no idea what you mean whatsoever.
So, like, for example, when Charlie Kirk got shot, right? Whether or not you like Charlie Kirk, probably not, and I personally wasn't the biggest fan of him either. There was a lot of people who did like Charlie Kirk, and there was a big, like, social media thing where after Charlie Kirk died, there was a lot of people saying he deserved it and saying it was justified.
You mean
this? I don't really believe.
You mean the same thing that Republicans were doing when Josh Shapiro's house burnt down, or when Melissa Hortman and her husband got killed, or when Nancy Pelosi's husband got hit over the head with a hammer and almost died, or when Joe Biden was, or when Joe Biden was diagnosed with cancer? You mean all of those situations when the Republicans did that? Look, I'm not justifying what people said about Charlie Kirk, but saying it's a Democrat thing is wild.
No, I'm not saying it's a Democrat thing at all. I'm just saying that from what I've seen personally, I believe that the Democrats do it more and are less apologetic about it. Like if there's Republicans saying like the murder of that, I think it was a Minnesota politician, right, and her house burned down. That's just despicable. That's completely evil. That's not what
Can
we
you please
should
tell
be
me one
supporting at
actual
all.
prominent Democrat or person in politics or anybody in power within our government that actually said anything like that about Charlie Kirk?
No, I'm not talking about like the politician. I'm just
Well,
talking
well,
about like
well, well
the social media.
but, sir, how do you know the person on the other end of that social media is actually a Democrat and not just a troll saying things?
Well, because you can watch interviews of people going on to college campuses and asking the college students what they believe on this, and it is very popular for them to mock and
How do
agree
you know
that it
those
was
college
justified.
kids are Democrats and not just trolls in front of a camera?
Well, I mean, I don't really see why Republicans. Well, I
I
guess
didn't
you
even
have a
say
good
they were
point there.
Republicans. I didn't say they were Republicans
You have a
either.
good point there, actually.
Yeah, you don't know
That's a
who
good
those people
point.
were. But here's what I do know, okay? You know the people that made fun of Biden when he got cancer? Oh, it was Donald Trump. It was Republicans in Congress. Okay? When Donald Trump was asked specifically about Melissa Hortman and her husband and asked if he was going to call like the governor in order to give his condolences, he said he had no need or will to even give a call or say anything good about the person who died, right? Democrats in Congress, okay, literally made fun of Nancy Pelosi's husband. They were reposting things on social media. Prominent Democrats prominent Republicans in power were making fun of these things. Okay? The Republicans didn't have a day vigil. They didn't, do the flag at half staff or rename highways or any of that stuff. No
Okay, but
Republican did a single thing for any of those people. But not a single Democrat that's actually in power or anyone that actually held an office of any prominence, okay, said one negative thing about, like, I mean, they said negative things about Charlie Kirk, but nobody condoned his killing. Nobody advocated for political violence. Donald Trump got on TV and said that the left are domestic terrorists over it.
domestic terrorists in the context of shooting Charlie, or what's the context?
No, he said the left are radical left people that are domestic terrorists. Did the left come out and say that the right was domestic terrorists when they did an insurrection?
Well, yeah, I think so. I think people said that was a bad thing
Did
overall.
he called the whole right, the entire Republican Party, domestic terrorists over it?
I wouldn't have any specifics on me about this.
No, because they didn't. They said the people that did it were doing something that was an act of terrorism, because that's true. But he didn't say that every Republican. They didn't call. Hold on, sir. But they didn't call you a terrorist over it. Donald Trump is saying that everybody on the left is a terrorist, okay? Because one person who grew up Republican, okay, and was mad at Charlie Kirk for completely other reasons, all right, got mad about it, all right? So when you're talking about people on social media, sir, people on social media say all sorts of things, okay? I have no idea whether those people are on the left or on the right, whether they're trolls, whether they even pay attention to politics. They might just be saying stuff just to get a rise out of people, because people do that online all the time. The amount of names and everything that I get called on this live, like every single night, all right? The horrific things that are said on this live about me, about my family, about all sorts of stuff, threats against my life, that happens almost nightly, okay? But do I think that every single person on the right is a horrible person because of it? No, I don't. All right? That's the difference, okay? Is that you're talking about kids on college campuses, and I'm talking about actual people in the government.
Okay. Just to go off your point a little bit about like the half legs and all this big thing about Charlie Kirk compared to the Democrat that lost her life, is like, obviously it's both bad on both scenarios, and it's both despicable and evil, quite obviously. But the difference is the difference that I would argue is that Charlie Kirk was much more popular and much more prominent And I do think that the Republicans pushed that harder simply because of them trying to gain a political gain out of it, right?
So Charlie Kirk was much more popular and much more famous than Joe Biden?
No, not Joe Biden. The
Sir,
Minnesota
they made fun
Democrat that
of
lost
Joe
her life.
Biden for having cancer.
Yeah, but Joe Biden's not dead.
And oh, okay, gotcha. So you're
Like, I'm not-
hold
I'm
on.
not defending
Yes,
it
you
at
are.
all.
Yes, you are. That's
No,
exactly
I'm
what you're
not.
doing.
I'm
That's
saying,
exactly
like,
what you're doing.
I'm saying-
Sir,
I'm saying
if you're
Charlie
gonna
Kirk died. Joe Biden hasn't
if
died.
you're gonna defend it, then you better stand 10 toes down. Okay?
That's not
Because you
what I'm
are
saying,
defending
though.
it. That's exactly what you're doing. All right? That's exactly what you're doing.
No, I'm saying it's a different scenario is all I'm saying.
Sure, yes, in both scenarios, okay, in all of these scenarios, right, someone died, okay? One of them, okay, was a social media guy who freaking went and debated kids on college campuses, okay,
Correct.
held no position in our government whatsoever, okay,
Correct.
never had, okay?
Okay, but he
Hold-
did
hold-
lead Turning Point
sir,
USA, right?
So what? What the fuck is Turning Point USA?
That's political power.
So what? So you're telling me that somebody that started a freaking political freaking little group is somehow more important than somebody who literally held office?
I would say on a national level, Charlie Kirk probably had more political influence. I mean, he would go talk to the president. I mean, that's influence, right?
Sir, Donald Trump will talk to anybody who likes him.
Yeah, but that's still influence.
Donald
That's what I'm
Trump
saying.
made a YouTuber the director of the FBI.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Sir, you trying
I
to
don't
make it
agree with
sound
that
like
at
for
all.
some reason Charlie Kirk deserved more than these other people, that the right
No, I'm
specifically
not
went out.
saying
No,
that.
that's
I'm
what
just
you are
saying-
saying. That's exactly what you're saying.
No, you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm saying the reason why more stuff happened to Charlie Kirk is because the Republicans got more political gain from it, and that's entirely why.
Sir, we're not making an
It's
argument
not
on
because they care about him.
Sir, sir, the whole point you're making is for some reason the left is going after people that got killed, which is not true. Okay? They're not. You're saying some people on social media or some people on college campuses are. The left's not. Democrats are not. But when I show you all of these instances of Republicans doing that exact same thing that you're talking about, for some reason you start to defend it now.
No, I'm not
and
defending
that's
it.
what I'm,
Just
and that's what I'm
pointing
saying.
out
When-
the differences.
no, you're yeah, exactly. You are pointing the differences, but the problem is I'm pointing out the differences, sir. I'm showing right now, okay, that the difference is that when Charlie Kirk died, there wasn't a single Democrat within power whatsoever that said a negative thing about his death. They all condemned it. They all condemned political violence. They all condemned the person that took that action. They all condemned it. But when bad things happen to Democrats, the right makes fun of it. And I'm not talking about right people on social media or on college campuses. I am talking about elected Republicans, people that are in the federal government, people that actually run stuff. All right?
Okay.
Like, and so you making this statement saying that somehow the left is worse when you're just ignoring the fact that the right does it so much is just disingenuous.
Well, I mean, this is what I'm trying to get at. So, would you agree that America is more divided than ever?
Sure. What does that have to do with anything?
So, do you think division is a good or bad thing in America?
Bad. What's your point?
My point is that obviously one of the reasons I hate Donald Trump, or not necessarily hate, but do dislike him, is he's very divisive, and there's a lot of foreign influence and stuff like that with Donald Trump, as with many politicians. But there was a lot of, whether you like Charlie Kirk or not, right? There was a lot of people that supported Charlie Kirk. And so when he dies and there's this big kind of almost like a cultural moment, it's kind of like a decisive point. And the temperature just gets ramped up, which I do agree with you a lot. There wasn't, as far as I know off the top of my head,
Who ramped up the
cannot
temperature?
because so
No,
when Charlie
who
Kirk
ramped
died,
up the temperature?
well, Charlie Kirk died.
So
Does that-
so what?
does that not ramp up the temperature?
No, Charlie Kirk dying does not ramp up the temperature.
Yes,
Donald,
it does.
no, it does
He's
not.
a major-
No,
he's
no,
a
no,
major
no, no, sir. No, 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 no,
commentator.
no,
Of
no,
course it does.
no, no. His death did not ramp up the temperature. Trump's rhetoric
Okay.
about Charlie Kirk's death is what ramped up the temperature. Stephen Miller's rhetoric at his funeral ramped up the temperature. Okay, JD Vance talking about it ramped up the temperature. All of those people had the ability to lower the temperature on Charlie Kirk's death. Not a single one of them did it. Every single one of them took the opportunity to make it as polarizing, okay, as humanly possible. Okay?
So it's polarizing to condemn political violence.
That's what the Democrats did. The Democrats, no, they both didn't. The Democrats condemned political violence. The right said Donald Trump said this is the left's fault. They're all domestic terrorists, and they should. And there's freaking people in the Republican Party that said that the left should be eradicated. There was people on the right that said that the left should be eradicated.
Okay, hold on. Was the guy who shot Charlie Kirk left-winging?
No. He had started to lean
so
more left. He grew up right.
Transgender boyfriend.
Do you think that everybody that has a transgender boyfriend is left-leaning?
Do you think Republicans have transgender
yes,
boyfriends?
I 100% do, and I've met them.
Well, I would say there probably is out there, but I would say I mean, he inscribed on the bullet like furry catchphrases. Like, what are we talking about here?
Those are groypers. Those are Nick Fuentes' boys.
It is not. That is not. That's a furry.
No, they were not furry catchphrases. They were groiper statements. They were groiper statements.
Groypers killed him.
Dude, you do realize So okay, gotcha. So let me get this straight. You want me to look up what he said on there? Because I can put them up there and show how they were groyper statements. It's not difficult. Okay. This is not difficult. We can find this and pull this up easily. Okay. No. Yeah. The freaking inscriptions on the bullet were groyper inscriptions coming from Nick Fuentes, and Nick Fuentes had serious problems within the groyper community about freaking Charlie Kirk, and it was openly, adamantly against him.
Okay, but he never called for. Do you have any evidence he called for violence?
Do you have any evidence on that the left called for violence against Charlie Kirk?
Yes.
Where?
Yeah.
Where?
Dude, you can watch any Turning Point USA video, and there's always people shouting at him saying he should die. Like,
okay, gotcha. Like, so I should trust Turning Point USA on that. So again, gotcha. So people that are in the crowd that you don't know are on the left, again, that you don't know who they are or their political standing,
but is it,
said it.
Listen to me.
No, you listen. You listen.
I'm listening.
Okay. Name me one actual prominent Democrat, okay, that held any office that called for political violence against Charlie Kirk.
Okay, but before we get to that,
we're not before getting to that. You're just getting to the point.
Multiple questions.
I'm asking you one question. Okay, the one question? How do you know that the people shouting in those Turning Point USA videos are Democrats? One question.
Because logically speaking, would it be outrageous to assume that there is probably left-leaning people disagreeing with a right-wing person? So
you're assuming, and you don't know that?
Yes. I'm assuming because that's logic. That's common sense.
Does Nick Fuentes speak out about freaking Charlie Kirk adamantly?
He did. I'm pretty sure.
So he's left-wing now.
Well, Nick Fuentes doesn't even like Trump.
It doesn't matter. So Nick Fuentes is on the left now, is what you're saying.
Nick Fuentes didn't vote for Trump and told his supporters not to vote for Trump.
I didn't ask you whether he voted for Trump yet, Ding Dong. Can you hear what I'm saying?
Okay, but
is this thing on? Hello? Is Nick Fuentes on the left or a Democrat? Yes or no? Which one is he?
I would say that he is not with the Republican Party at all.
I didn't ask you who he wasn't with. I asked you who he was with. Is he on the left or a Democrat? It is which one is he? On the left, Democrat, which one is he?
I would say he's probably neither, but he helped the Democrats.
So you can make you can understand that somebody can be against Charlie Kirk, say bad things about Charlie Kirk, and not be on the left.
Okay, but
because you just made an assumption that everyone that did.
You're still saying the guy who shot Charlie Kirk is a Nick Fuentes fan. That's completely false.
Okay,
that's a lie.
I can prove that. That's easy.
Okay, let's prove it right now.
Okay.
I want to learn with you.
You should have learned before you started speaking.
That's just pointless. That's baseless.
That's pointless. Yeah, I bet you do assume that.
You haven't made a point. There's no point because you haven't made one.
Sir, if you really want to talk about people who have not fucking made a point here, it's you. And your point is, I watched some videos, some random people in a crowd were screaming. I assume that they were Democrats with absolutely no evidence at all. Okay, your common sense that even though I can prove to you that somebody on the right also doesn't like Charlie Kirk. So again, already proved that people cannot like Charlie Kirk and not be on the left. Okay. And so you've now made that assumption.
You're the one who brought up Nick Fuentes. Like what?
Oh my God, dude. Why are you so caught up on the Nick Fuentes part, dude? I can pull it up, but literally, why are you so caught up on that part?
Because I'm confused. I don't understand.
I can tell you're confused.
Everybody knows this guy was a Democrat. You're delusional.
Yep. Catch up, right, down, down, down. On one of the inscriptions, which is linked to Groypers. Yep.
What did it say?
Let me ask you a question. One of the bullets said, if you can read this, you're gay. Does that sound like something on the left would say, just out of curiosity?
Yes.
Yeah. Then obviously you've never met someone on the left.
I mean,
you have obviously never met someone on the left. If you think that that's a statement that's pretty standard within the left.
Okay, but this guy was like how old? 20? 22?
Up, right, down 3 arrows, as the governor described one engraving, appears to be a reference to a sequence of controller move that unleashes bombs in the popular video games Helldivers. Another phrase in the cartridge is notice bulges OWO. What's this? Is used for trolling the root in online role play gaming communities. And both are linked.
Talked about a bulge. And you're saying that's far right?
Sir,
what?
Do you know what the Groypers are? You know that it's like a big gamer community, right?
I know.
Do you even know what the Groypers are?
I don't think so. Nick Fuentes fans, I believe.
They're Nick Fuentes people, but you need to look up what they are before you're telling me that what I'm saying isn't freaking true.
Dude, they said bulge on the bullet. How is that far right? That's like transgender. How is that
stuff. Far
They're
left?
Clearly talking about a transgender with a bulge. I forgot the class.
And again, is everybody who dates a transgender person on the left? Are they all Democrats?
No. Well, obviously
then
not.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything, Ding Dong?
Common sense. Like, obviously, if you're dating a transgender, you're more likely to be a leftist.
You keep saying common sense, but you're not using
because
any.
It is.
Sir, you keep saying common sense, but you're not using any. Okay? You're not using any. Okay?
Okay.
Did you ever think that...
far-fetched? Tell me how that's far-fetched.
I didn't say it was far-fetched. I didn't say it was far-fetched.
More likely this guy was far right.
I didn't say that he was far right or far left at all. You're the one making an assumption. Sir, you're the one making
Nick Fuentes isn't far right. Is that what you're saying?
I know you're barely an adult, but try to act like one, okay?
Dude,
sir,
you haven't
you
made
are
a
making
point.
you are making
You're saying it's not about far right, but you mentioned Nick Fuentes.
Let me know when you're done, sweetheart.
Is Nick Fuentes not far right?
Let me know when you're done, sweetheart.
I've been done, but you won't answer me.
Oh, because every time I try to talk, you start to speak.
No, because you change the subject. You lose the point. You lose the plot.
You just let me know when you're done.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, cool. We have already figured out that you don't have to be on the left to have a trans boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. We've already figured out that you don't have to be on the left to dislike Charlie Kirk. Okay, those are assumptions that you have made. Okay, to try to divide the United States. This is the exact same statements. Okay, that people like Donald Trump and JD Vance make when you talk about why it's divided. Instead of saying this was a person who did something wrong. Okay. You are trying to make it about the left. Okay.
Because they celebrate it.
No one on the left is celebrating it. Again, for the 5th time. And again, use your brain. The left is not celebrating it. A bunch of people on social... Sir. Speak again while I'm talking and I'm hanging up the phone. Thank you. A bunch of people on social media that you have no idea what political standing they have are talking shit, and you're just saying they're from the left. You have no fucking clue. Okay? You are trying to make it about the left because your brain can't comprehend that somebody not on the left didn't like Charlie Kirk, even though we've already proved that that's happened. Okay? So stop being such a divide. So stop being. How do you prove that he's on the left?
Because this guy disagreed with Charlie Kirk for his transgender rights. His father said he was on the left.
His father said that he grew up on the right and was starting to have some left-leaning views.
Okay, does that not prove my point?
Not at all.
Because you
can be on the right and have some left-leaning views. That does not make you on the left.
If you have left views, that by definition means you're not on the right.
Okay, so and it doesn't mean that you're on the left either.
Left-leaning views?
And it doesn't mean you're on the left either.
Yeah, but you're trying to say he's far right.
No, I'm saying that he's not. Are you? You must,
dude.
Is this what we're doing today? Is this what we're doing today, sir?
Okay,
sir. No,
okay,
shut up. No,
okay,
no, shut up.
I got you.
No, you don't have anything. You have being quiet. Okay. I am not going to explain this to you over and over and over again. I've already explained this like 6 fucking times, and you cannot seem to get it. Okay. This has to be the craziest, fucking, most ridiculous, pathetic conversation I've ever had in my entire life.
Is Nick Fuentes far right? Just answer that.
Sir.
Yes or no?
Sir. I am not going to repeat myself again because you do not have the brain capacity in order to understand it.
I never asked you to repeat yourself.
Yes, but I have 6 times and you have not gotten it. All right?
Because
we're going to try.
You're missing my point.
We're going to try one more time. Okay? We're going to try one more time. Does someone having a transgender boyfriend make them on the left?
No.
Okay. Does someone randomly on social media saying something bad about Charlie Kirk automatically make them on the left?
No.
Okay. Then what proof do you have that anyone on the left of any prominence whatsoever was either responsible for, or endorsed Charlie Kirk's death?
Well, first of all, they never condemned the celebrations.
Every prominent Democrat has condemned the celebrations. Literally,
they condemned the act, but not the celebrations.
Yes, and condemned the celebrations. Every single fucking one of them.
I disagree.
You can disagree with facts all day long. That does not change to me.
Yeah, but I don't think they're facts.
You cannot think facts are facts also. That also doesn't change them. you cannot think facts are facts also, but that also doesn't change them.
Let me explain what I'm thinking right now.
I wish you wouldn't. I wish you wouldn't.
Well, then that's the point of a conversation. You can't debate. Well, we can't have a good conversation if if I don't know what you're saying and you don't know what I'm saying or where we're coming from, right? Yawn. Okay. So you said the guy.
No, just be quiet. Just be quiet real quick, okay? For everyone's sake, just be quiet for a second. I put this up on the screen. From Vox. Isn't it hard to understand why Progressive found it plausible that Robin was a reactionary extremist? The alleged killer engraved his bullet casings with references to a bizarre array of memes, including one that mocks so-called furries. Adults who dress up in animal costumes during sexual... Shh! It's not your turn to talk. Adults who dress up in animal costumes during sexual encounters. And another that informed observers, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO. These etchings recall the nihilistic LGBT trolling often found on extreme on the online right, and Charlie Kirk had his reactionary enemies. The white nationalist broadcaster Nick Fuentes fandom, a community known as Groypers, had declared war on on Kirk's organization Turning Point USA for failing to uphold Fuentes' explicitly racist vision of America First. From the beginning, there was reasons to doubt that Robinson was a rightist. Most obviously, Kirk earned far more enmity from the left than the right, and one of Charlie Robinson's bullying case read "Hey, fastest catch," though that would be dismissed as arbitrary video game reference. Given this initial collection of facts, progressives had the cause for entertaining the idea that Robinson was a white nationalist, but none for certain it was established fact.
So a white nationalist kills a white guy? What? Wasn't Charlie Kirk racist?
Make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
So you're telling me somebody on the far right had a transgender girlfriend?
Sir, I'm not saying Tyler Robinson was on the far right. I'm not saying he was on the far left.
You
I'm
said
not.
he was a Nick Fuentes fan.
All right,
Is
you
Nick
go ahead and
Fuentes
finish, and
not
I'll
on the
speak when
far
you're
right?
done talking again, child.
Dude, you just keep ranting about nonsense and you won't answer a simple question.
Cool. Whenever you're done speaking, I'll speak.
There's no logic behind this.
All right. Well, if there's no logic behind this, then please hang up.
Dude, you're trying to say Nick Fuentes isn't far right. That's ridiculous.
Literally never said that.
Okay, but you won't say he is.
Whenever you're done speaking.
You're trying to tell me a white nationalist killed a white guy. Like, this doesn't make sense.
Whenever you're done speaking, sweetheart.
No, you go ahead, sweetheart.
All right, thank you. I am not saying that Tyler Robinson was a far left. I'm not saying he was far right. I'm not saying he was independent. I'm not saying he was slightly leaning left. I'm not saying he was slightly leaning right. All right, you're now getting muted. You're now muted. You're now muted. You're now muted. I'm done. I am not saying any of those things. What I am saying is your designation of him being on the left, just like your designation of every single person that freaking that said something bad about him being on the left, is short-sighted. Okay, and is what causes division in the United States. I'm saying that your exact rhetoric, okay, is the division. So again, like I said earlier, okay, it is not Charlie Kirk's death that was the polarizing freaking factor in this. It is people like you, okay, and the rhetoric that you spill, and rhetoric that is exactly repeated, that's said by Stephen Miller, by J.D. Vance, by the President of the United States. That is the rhetoric that has become divisive in this country. Okay. So you're the one that's the problem. All right. Cool. So have a good day. Okay. We are done.
Dude.
Okay.
When Charlie Kirk
so
died,
have a nice
the
day.
Civil War went over 200,000.
Okay. Well,
I only
unmuted, sir. I only unmuted you to let you know to say goodbye like a nice human being. Okay.
Shout out to chat. If you're watching Paulie right now, shout
out. You should learn consent. Okay. So have a wonderful day. All right.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
Bye. All right, we're gonna move on to next caller. Goodness gracious, man. Like talking, this is why, like I said, nobody 19 or under, like I was going to stop talking to him. He said 20. So I gave him a chance. All right. But learn not to do that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I can't bring up the chats right now. I don't know what's going on. But I did. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said caller needs to do research before calling. Absolutely. Victoria said, dude, you are a Trump-hating bitch. Biden paid MSNBC to talk trash about Trump and even sprayed fake news. Even if Biden gotten cancer, good for him. In case you were wondering about what people say about people like Joe Biden. So there's your right-wingers right there. Thank you so much. Gene, thank you so much for the $5. Said Charlie Kirk said educated women would destroy this country. What did he mean and how so? I think that he meant exactly that, actually. I'm just being completely honest with you. Let's just call a duck a duck. She's getting over this like real fast, isn't she? She's getting over this real quick. She seems actually more relieved than anything else, I think, at this point. And XO, he said he deleted him because he wasn't. Yeah, that I can't put that up there, but yeah, 100%. I'm just saying she seems relieved, okay? She does. You see her on TV. She doesn't exactly look like a grieving husband or grieving wife. Okay? Like, just being honest, just calling a duck here, all right? But Anyways, I can't pin the freaking goal over here, but I really appreciate it. Y'all, if you like to support the live, I do have super chats open and all that fun stuff. Normally, I throw them up on the screen, but I'm having a hard time doing that on this live for some reason. I think I would probably have to restart a whole bunch of stuff, which I'm not going to do. So we're just going to move on to the next caller and keep this thing going. So I really appreciate y'all. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Hello, how are you?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
How old are you?
Old enough.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you been?
I'm great. How old are you?
36.
Awesome. You still support Trump?
I'm sorry?
Do you still support Trump?
Okay, I got you. I'm hit or miss. I support him 80% of the way, and part of me doesn't.
That's crazy. How do you support fascism like 80% of the way? That's pretty wild.
So let me ask you something. What are you so against him if it's okay? Like I hear you going back and forth with some people. I just want to talk to you, normal conversation. So why are you so against him? Don't mind me asking. Are you like, how about this? Instead of asking that, which was your favorite president during your time of being that you can remember?
Obama would be my favorite, but I don't know what that has to do much with Trump.
No, because Obama wasn't really a great president. Obama, before he became president,
You didn't ask who was the greatest president. You asked who my favorite was.
Oh, okay. I apologize. You're right. I'm sorry for that. So my thing is why don't you support Trump? You have someone who finally wants to put America first. I'm not saying, Obama didn't do that or anything like that, but you have someone who's willing to get rid of the illegals that come here. That's a huge part for me. And
why?
Then why? Because to have this many illegals here, we can't make a living off of it.
What do you mean you can't make a living off of it? What do you mean you can't make a living off of
it? Because when you have illegals here, right? Who pays for the illegals to be here?
They do. Plus some.
We do.
No, they do.
We get taxed.
No, they do.
We get taxed. We get taxed.
No, they get taxed.
Our taxes pay for it. Okay, if that's the question, then why hasn't the government been back up and running?
What do you mean been back up and running?
The government right now.
Who shut it? Well, the Republicans have the government shut down, but the Democrats also have the government shut down.
That's not true. The Democrats have it shut
down. How many votes does it? Hold on. How many votes does it take to pass a budget reconciliation bill?
I don't know. I do like
50
or whatever it is.
51.
50. Okay.
Yeah. How many Republicans are in the Senate?
30.
53.
53.
So if that's the case, then how do Democrats have the government shut down?
Because who's not willing to negotiate on this side?
Sir, who needs to negotiate if you only need 51 votes and the Republicans have 53? Why do the Democrats need to negotiate? Why do they even need to negotiate with the Democrats if they already have enough votes?
Because what it comes down to is the other side is that it has to negotiate on this side as well. They have it shut down because what do they want? 1.5 trillion on what? But what are they funding? 1.5
ACA subsidies.
Yeah, and what do we need to give subsidies for? I don't
to keep the prices of health insurance down.
It's not just for health insurance. That's not going to keep it down. Subsidies is supposed to. No. The subsidies is for illegals to get health care.
Wrong.
That's one major part. No,
that's not true at all. It literally is because of sir.
Why is it?
It's literally because of ACA subsidies. That's American health insurance that goes to American citizens. No undocumented immigrant has the ability to even sniff getting close to having any of that. You do realize if these subsidies aren't passed, okay, the average raise in cost for American citizens that are on the ACA will go up by on average 114%, right?
Okay.
American citizens.
I was gonna say I didn't know that. I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this has nothing to do with undocumented immigrants. Not a single thing that the Democrats are trying to fight for has anything to do with undocumented immigrants. It 100% has to do with American citizens' health care.
If I just going to step in for a second, I'm sorry that I was getting a little further on that conversation, right? Then how come every time when you listen to them, right, especially AOC and Bernie Sanders, both talk about subsidies for illegals. Everything is pointed out to them as to illegals need health care funding. And then the other subsidies I get, we're trying to spend for families. No, we're trying to spend for families that need
Bernie and AOC have never, ever said that ever.
They just did on CNN the other day.
They did not.
Yes, they did. They literally just
They
said,
did not.
we're going to stand out. They every time they ask them how they're going to get it back, they divert the question. Because when it came down to them, as they said, we're going to stand strong until we get our 1.5 trillion.
For ACA subsidies.
I don't.
Sir, what
believe
is the
it's 2000.
ACA?
That I don't know.
So
That
you,
you
so
know
I'm
more
saying
than-
we're this entire argument is about ACA subsidies, and you don't know what the ACA is.
I just know, well, from me, just what all I've been hearing, just in general, that it's that they're fighting for health care for illegal undocumented immigrants. That's all that they bring
That's
up.
all that frickin' Mike Johnson and frickin' JD Vance are saying. It's not true. Not one Democrat has said that.
Every Democrat prays on that because in my opinion, I think actually, you know what? Just on both sides, I think the government has just gotten so corrupted with greed. They just find any way they can siphon money to put in areas to pull.
Sir.
I'm not saying just one side. I'm saying both sides. Both sides.
Sir, there
On
are
all sides of the
44 million Americans. 44 million Americans that between a couple weeks ago, or actually from, I think it's November 1st, from November 1st to like the end of January are going to see their healthcare premiums rise on average of 114%. That is why the Democrats won't sign on to any funding bill that the Republicans want. Because they want
Can I
those
ask you one-
44 million people to have health care. Why
Can I ask you
do the
something?
Republicans not want Americans to have health care so bad? That should be your question.
I think, don't they want it for what's it called? They don't want it funded across the government. I know that they want it for the state or for each individual to get for themselves. They don't want the government to give it like Canada or whatever it is because the healthcare system is so bad.
First of all, the healthcare system in Canada is amazing. Second of all, that would be a universal healthcare system, which is not the ACA and has nothing to do with this.
That's not ACA related. I'm just asking.
Sir, the ACA provides affordable healthcare for Americans in this country. Okay, it was the most comprehensive freaking healthcare reform that we've had in this country in the history of this country. Okay, again, 44 million people in this country, okay, are on some type of health plan through the ACA, which allows them to be able to afford healthcare coverage. All right.
Now, can I ask you one quick question into that? Just ask, okay? When you say an affordable, would that mean for people that work or is that people without work? I'm just generally asking just because you know that stuff.
Well, I mean, I guess they don't have to work. They still have to pay for it. I guess if they're finding a way to pay for it without working. There's no requirement for working, but they're paying for it. So, I mean, I guess whichever way they pay for it.
I was going to say, the government covers it if you don't work, you know what I mean? Like Medicare or MetLife or something like that. So I'm just asking. Medicaid,
sir,
Medicaid.
ACA is private healthcare.
Yeah.
It's not government healthcare. It's private healthcare.
And I think, honestly, do you think that's to do with corporate greed in a way, too?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that has to do with corporate greed in this.
So
that's why it's so crazy that you're supporting Donald Trump getting rid of the subsidies, which would allow for more corporate greed.
Honestly, I think, I remember yesterday's conversation you had yesterday, and this is kind of slight change in subject, but it just has to do with corporate greed. Yesterday's conversation you said something about tariffs, right? That tariffs caused everything to go up, right?
Tariffs are causing a lot of things to go up, yes.
Do you know when the tariffs kicked in?
There are certain tariffs that kicked in his first term and have gone all the way through. There are certain tariffs that have kicked in already, and there's certain tariffs that haven't kicked in yet.
Yeah, I was going to say most of the tariffs in this term started off August 20th. But to how I see it though is when they heard tariffs, a lot of companies just jumped in on corporate greed. Now my thing is, and I see that you're against Trump, and no problem. I get some areas you do. So my question is if you're so on the not against Trump side of the before Trump, I'm going to say 12 of the or 16 of the years or 12 to 16 years Democrats had it, right? Pretty much. You had Obama.
Why did you don't get to say it like that, by the way?
Well, 16 years, 16 years. One side had it more than the other.
Yeah, and if you go there to 24 years, then they both had it evenly.
Okay, so Well,
You don't get to just select the 16 years just because Democrats had it more than that. If you go to 24 years, it was even.
yeah, but okay, but in the,
Actually, if you go to
but in that-
25 years, it's actually more Republican.
but in those years, right? How come the one side of the party always said they're going to keep going after the rich, they're going to tax the rich because of their greed and all that stuff, but it never gets done.
Well, because the last tax policy was written under the Trump administration, right?
And under the Trump administration of his first term, it was the most affordable. It was the most affordable living you could have had.
No.
During Trump's first term, the average person
Sir,
to buy
when
a
did
house
Donald
was 29
Trump's
years old.
when did Donald Trump's freaking tax plan take effect?
Wasn't it the year, literally the second to last year of his first term?
So, sir, if that's the case, then we were currently under Obama's tax plan when everything was cheap.
No, but the negotiations of him drill baby drill in the pipeline. Because what did Obama say during his presidency? Well, towards the end, right, as Trump was becoming it, he said that Trump wasn't going to be able to bring in jobs, right? Trump brought jobs back over to America, right? Then we started to see gas go from $3 a gallon from literally his time down to the end. It wasn't Obama's time. It went to $1.93, $1.92 where I live, not across. The national average was
Gas prices
$2.10.
had been going down every year for fucking 5 years before Trump took office.
No, they haven't.
Yes, they
They've
had.
been consistently saying
They had been consistently going down every single year.
No, they haven't.
Sir,
literally-
yes, they had.
So they've been at the all-time high between Bush's time and then during this time with the pandemic during Biden era. They were so against it that we were buying oil from everyone else.
No,
we could have been perfectly
we
clear
were buying oil from everyone else because Donald Trump coordinated the OPEC Plus deal.
We were doing the Keystone Pipeline, which was bringing in millions of gallons of oil.
So the
we're
Keystone
refining
Pipeline
oil,
never stopped running. Was running before Biden and it's still running to this day.
It's not running to the state.
It
They
is.
stopped the Keystone Pipeline.
It is
Then why
not.
did 50,000 people lose their job?
They didn't. Keystone Pipeline is still running.
Then why did they say? Then why is it 50,000 people lost their job?
Sir, if you're
Literally-
talking about the Keystone XL pipeline, that is different. But the Keystone XL pipeline was never running. Okay? And if it was never running, it couldn't have stopped bringing oil.
Well, during the first administration of Trump, we had all lowest everything.
Nope. We
It
actually
wasn't- it
produced
wasn't
more
Obama.
oil under the Biden administration in the United States than we had in American history. And we became the most energy independent that we'd been in 70 years.
Under who?
Biden.
No, Biden wasn't.
I'm not
under-
asking your
we were-
opinion, sir. That was information,
You can go
sir.
with facts. You can go with facts. You can go with the facts.
That
they
is
were
the
all about
facts.
The Green New Deal. The Green New Deal was horrible. The Green New Deal caused everything
The
to go up.
Green New
The
Deal never
cost of-
passed.
I know, but because they were trying to push it and push for all the solar stuff, gas was at its second high.
Sir,
Underneath
sir,
the
sir,
Biden
sir, sir,
administration,
sir,
oil
sir.
was
First of all,
expensive. What are you talking
first
about?
of all, breathe. Okay?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I understand that you want to go like through as many points as you possibly can. That way we cannot have any scrutiny on any of the ones that you're saying. Okay? But breathe. Okay?
I got you.
Yeah, gas prices
You're
were
right.
high up through 2023, and then they started going down in 2023 due to the OPEC Plus deal. Okay,
Okay.
and then after that, when Biden actually got to do what he wanted to do, not the not be constricted under the OPEC Plus deal, which was coordinated by Donald Trump, then we started producing oil at the highest rate in United States history. We were outproducing Saudi Arabia in 2023. Okay? We were the most energy independent in 2023 than we had been in 70 years. Okay? That is a fact. Okay? So don't give me this whole, a Green New Deal that never passed, okay, somehow made it where we weren't producing as much oil. It's just not true.
Then why it was feel so expensive? Because we're selling off all
Because
our
of the
extra
OPEC
oil.
Plus deal. I already said that.
Okay. Yeah, and then we're selling off our oil to China too.
Sir, the OPEC Plus deal is why it was more expensive. That mixed with a closing down of shipping lanes, the Russia-Ukraine war didn't help. Right? There was
That's
multiple
it.
reasons,
Yeah, that's true.
but none of them were Biden policies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I just want to ask you one more change of subject. Just your opinion on one thing, okay? Nothing major. How do you feel about the National Guard being deployed in areas? That's what just asking.
How do I feel about the U.S. military being turned against American people? I think it's very, very fucking sad, and leads to a very, very, very bad place if we look throughout the history of that happening within the world.
How is it being turned against the American people? It's, to be honest, it's Antifa that's causing a lot of this. Antifa, to me, is they named it, not me. They named Antifa a terrorist organization.
Yeah. So first of all,
America.
one, Antifa is still the American people if they existed as a group, which they don't. Okay. So
Sure.
that has nothing to do with it. Okay. Second of all, Antifa is not a group. Okay. It's not an organization. It's a loose political ideology. All right. That's
Funded by
it.
the rich, right?
Third of all, the president of the United States doesn't have the ability to declare a domestic terrorist group. So none of those are true.
Okay. But anyway, the point of the National Guard, though, okay, and this is prior military experience for me, the point of the National Guard is you are to you are to protect land outside the United States and inside the United States.
Actually, the point of the
And
National
I-
Guard is to be the military for the state. It's actually an evolution of the militia that they were actually talking about, like in the Second Amendment of the Constitution. It's actually a state-run military. What Donald Trump is doing is federalizing that military, okay, which really is kind of shaky on when he has the ability and when to do that. But they're giving deference to the president, which is fine, okay. But when you are literally taking the National Guard, okay, away from the states, okay, which honestly kind of a violation of the 10th Amendment, but we can, go there later. But literally just take it away that and using that, okay, against American citizens who are protesting their friends and family being ripped out of their houses, right? Zip tied, thrown on the ground by masked agents not wearing badges, all right? Being detained for an unspecified amount of time, treating people inhumanely, right? When you are deploying the National Guard for protesting that exact thing, that's very sad.
How are they being treated inhumanely?
How are they being treated inhumanely? Have you not seen any of the videos of people being beaten, children being left zip tied on the side of the road, people being left naked and cold outside? People, a lot of these people, not even undocumented immigrants, people that are here legally, people that are American citizens, they're not taking much deference at all to who is who. They're just going into buildings and taking, everybody out, shooting priests with pepper balls and shooting freaking the press with rubber bullets, freaking throwing tear gas and gas canisters at peaceful protests, right? And that's not even to talk about the people that are being sent to torture prisons in El Salvador, or the 170 American citizens we believe that have been deported at this point, or people being sent to countries, the war-torn countries in Africa that aren't even from there.
I was gonna say, if it's peaceful protest, they wouldn't be doing that. There's no such thing as attacking on a peaceful protest. They have to be obstructing something in order, or be doing something out of control for them to attack. That's the standard in the military. Why do you think under Obama we hated him as the president when we were deployed to Afghanistan? We had to wait to be shot at and exploded before we could act on our own.
That is the rules of the Geneva Convention, and military freaking foreign rules of engagement are very different from the National Guard in Portland.
It's the same. We have to hold the same standard there and here.
No, you fucking don't. Those are completely different fucking standards and completely different ROEs. What are you talking about?
You cannot randomly just start beating people down in a protest.
No, ICE is doing that, ding dong. That's what I said. ICE is the one beating people down. The National Guard are there because people are protesting ICE beating people down.
I got you. Okay. All right.
The National Guard are there to protect the ICE agents who are treating people inhumanely.
Okay. Yeah, because I know they're hunting down the ICE people. But honestly, though, like, how do you expect to get all these people out of here, though? If they're Americans, they're fine, right? Well, I'm saying if they're Americans, they're fine. But one thing is, though, we do have such influx amount of illegals here. We do have to get rid of them.
Why?
Okay. Why? Because it's just bad for the economy.
How?
Because they work for much less to pay, therefore it affects the pay of everybody else.
Okay, so make them legally here. That way they work for higher pay.
You wouldn't be able to just do that.
Why not?
Yeah, because it costs money. Obviously, the checks back.
It's going to cost $2 trillion for Americans to attempt to deport all the undocumented immigrants for like a quarter of that, we could just make them all legally here, and then they would be able to work for the actual amount of money that they should be, because even though they already fall under our labor laws, they'd be less likely to be exploited, and then they'd be paying taxes, which would be helpful for our economy.
Yeah, but still, they would still be willing to do the work for next to nothing with not the exist. Now, I admit sometimes you do need some.
No, the reason why
sometimes-
the reason why they
Right.
they take the less money, okay, is because they don't have other choices. All right, because they're exploitable, because they're here undocumented.
That's true. Yeah, because the businesses want to be greedy. You say, okay, but just in general though, like if you think about it, right? You said you're not your favorite, the president you chose to like, Obama, deported 4 times the amount as Trump. Did you have a problem with that back in the day?
When he did it inhumanely, yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay. I'm glad you told me about that you actually were cool with that. Oh, I appreciate the conversation today, man. I'm sorry we both got a little scared, but thank you, man, for the knowledge on your end, and God bless you, and you have a great day, all right?
Yeah, you also. Bye.
All right, have a good night, sir.
You
Bye.
too. Bye. All right, we're gonna move on to that. Keep this going. I cannot. It doesn't make any sense that I can't bring up this chat thing. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna go through a few super chats. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Politics with Matt said, "Oh, I hit MAGA bingo. He hit all the talking points. If you were playing bingo tonight, I don't think there's a way possible. Okay, I don't think there's a way possible that you didn't hit bingo. Somebody had to have hit it today. I'm gonna have to go look in there. That dude might have hit every talking point in the book. Thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate that." And Micey said, "Someone let the caller know the only gas and mud that went down and got stuck under Donald Trump's underwear. He let that out in that fighter jet. On I think he let that mud in his pants out on that fighter jet on Harry Sisson for some reason." Very, very strange. Very, very strange. Sorry, just thought it was very weird. Weird choice of person to try to poop on. Sounds kind of like a kink at that point. Anyways, thank you so much, Mindspeak. And Matt said ACA funded by taxes equals not private. Dems do not want health care for illegals. My paycheck isn't good for what? Okay, Matt, that makes no sense. ACA funded by taxes. ACA is paid for out of pocket. There are subsidies, okay, that come from the government. But by that comparison, okay, anything that has a subsidy would be socialism, right? So therefore, we subsidize soybean farmers right now. We're about to have to subsidizing our cattle ranchers. We subsidize school. We subsidize health insurance currently right now. Private health insurance is always subsidized. We subsidize the auto industry. We subsidize, schools for disabled people, right? We subsidized the oil industry before. We've subsidized all of those things, right? So if everything that's a subsidy is now, socialist, then, Donald Trump is pretty much a giant subsidy on the United States. How many times have we freaking bailed out the banks or the finance industry? Anyways, Democrats do want health care for all illegals. No, Democrats, personally, I want everybody to have health care. Personally. Y'all, make sure you hit that follow button if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on those notifications. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I want everybody to have healthcare. I don't think that you should only have healthcare based off of your citizenship or where you're standing at the moment, personally. But this has nothing to do with what we're talking about has nothing to do with that whatsoever. So nice try though. I do have my live gift goal going on here on TikTok. Or I can't pin it. I don't know why it won't let me, but it's up there if you guys like support. Also, I do have super chats open and all that fun stuff. So if you'd like to, I do have super chats and all that. Oh my goodness. Wasn't done speaking. I do have super chats and all that fun stuff going up. So if you'd like to leave a comment or have me talk about it in between callers, they are wide open. So I really, really appreciate you guys and thank you guys so much for the support. I'm now going to open up the phone lines. And I'm also going to see if I can figure out this thing because I can't figure out. I can't figure out what's going on with it. So I'm gonna see if I can figure that out. Hello, how are you?
Oh, hey, Paulie.
I'm doing good.
I'm sorry. Do I know you or something?
Aren't you streaming?
I don't know. I just don't like the way you said that. Hello. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Going great. How old are you?
Oh, I'm 30.
You're 30.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, for now, until the next mistake.
Until the next mistake. So all the hundreds of mistakes before. Thank you guys so much for those. I appreciate that. So all the hundreds of mistakes before, those ones, we're just gonna ignore those, and we're gonna go with the next mistake. That's it.
Man, the miracle of the universe I've seen is a wrong watch is at least right twice a day. So I haven't figured out why the world works that way, but somehow it keeps happening.
If that's the case, then we should all just wear broken watches.
I think so. At least twice a day it'll be right.
Yeah,
Sure. Hell no,
or
80%
just a thought. We could wear
Yeah.
watches that are just right all the time.
Yeah, gee, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
That'd
but
be nice.
that'd be my personal opinion, or at least most of the time. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if you prefer supporting the one that's only twice a day, then I guess that's fine.
Well, I definitely agree with you on if you can get to 100, that'd be nice. I haven't seen it happen yet on anything yet, but nah, I support some things he does, but quite honestly, some other things like you were mentioning with the previous person, that makes me nervous, and I am seeing that because I do come from a country that has a militarized police presence, and I understand heavy-handedness intimately. And what I'm seeing right now is like the birth pangs of it that can lead to an eventuality that is much different from the normal American experience that is right now. So that does concern me. Yeah, you're absolutely right on the dime there, actually.
All right. Well, cool. I mean, if we agree, then I don't
You
think we
do
have much to
deserve
talk.
credit for that. You do deserve credit for. I'll give you that. And you're a really smart guy. So, by the way, great platform and great show you got here, man. You deserve a round of applause for everyone watching.
Well, I appreciate that. Can we get W's in chat for Paulie for the awesome live I have going on over here? I don't know, why not? But anyways, man, it sounds like we kind of have a little more agreement than we have disagreement. So I'm gonna move on to the next caller. I hope you have a wonderful day. All right.
Oh, man, if you want to hear the points I like, I can go there too.
No, I'm good. It sounds like you're more on my side than you are the other side. And so, anybody can pick out a couple different points they like for somebody, but I'd rather just have somebody that's, more actually supportive of
completely
that.
into it, right?
Yeah.
Not like
Yeah, I don't want to.
realistic.
I'm not trying to join like the 2 points you like from him. But have a good day. All right.
Have a good one.
All right. Hello. How are you?
Hey, good. How's it going?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 57.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
Well, I wanted to pick up on, I spoke to you a while back. We've had a couple good, healthy debates. And I thought about this for a while. Trump is Trump. And I know he's flip-flopped over the years. He's gone from being a Democrat, switched to Republican, made a lot of mistakes, pissed people off. I mean, nobody's perfect. And I remember, I think another caller a while ago asked you, like, well, who do you choose? And I know you've stated, I think you're independent. You've made your opinion on Trump very clear. Otherwise, we wouldn't be calling your stream. And I'm not going to argue on your channel like a lot of people do. I mean, I know it's good for clickbait and gets people calling in and good conversation, but we know Trump's going to leave office here in a few years.
Do we?
And well, I don't think there's any way they're gonna I don't know what it's called. You probably know more than me about that. What he'll try to do, somebody's going to try to pass a bill to where he can get another term. But the reason why I called you is, let's say hypothetically Trump gets out of office, nobody goes for JD Vance. Is there anybody that you are hoping for in the future that would be the president of choice? Because we've got to have rules, we got to have laws. We can't just let everybody come into the country illegally. We can't have people in the street.
Yeah, I picked me. Cool.
What, oh, you
Paulie,
pick you? Oh,
Paulie for president.
well, that's funny you say that because my first time I called you probably weeks ago, it was me, Tom. We were griping at each other, I was getting loud, and you like, hey Tom, you can be president. So how about you and me? We'll flip a coin, and you and me will be president and VP.
No, sir. I'm pretty sure I told you that you and I think I remember the conversation slightly, but I'm pretty sure I just said you would be a better president than Trump, which I actually do believe.
Okay.
But again, I believe that probably 99% of Americans would probably be a better like president than Donald Trump. All right. When it comes to 2028, I'll just deal with 2028 when the election comes out and we see who runs and we see who has the best platform at that point. I'm not going to project 3 years out. Okay, who I'm going to support for a president 3 years from now. I mean, obviously, we see certain people that are definitely front runners, right? Gavin Newsom's going to be a front runner. I assume Josh Shapiro will probably put his bid in, right? And well, who knows? There could be some other people that are even, they're even better in there. But we'll deal with that in 2027.
Yeah, well, I usually about a year or two out. I mean, people will start talking about 26, 27, people will start campaigning. But I mean, you're down in Florida from last time we talked, and I know Marco Rubio, he seems to be pretty articulate.
Marco Rubio's a fucking idiot.
Oh, you think so? Okay. Well, I mean, hey,
I wouldn't let Marco Rubio run my local subway.
Okay. Well, the last time I called in, I think about maybe a week or two ago, I might have texted it, or it's and you probably don't know this guy if you're not former military like me, but he's got a great podcast. So some people, Jocko Willenick and Tulsi Gabbard they were on Joe Rogan a while back, and I know they beat her up for leaving the Democratic Party, and
Who beat her up?
I want to share this with you.
Hold on, who beat her up?
Oh, no, the Democratic Party.
We didn't know when the Democratic Party beat her up for leaving. We were actually pretty happy she was gone.
Well, but check this out. There's a lot of lies about this, and I wanted to take this time, just a couple seconds. So you know what a TSSCI is, right, when you're in the military?
Yes.
Okay. There's no way in God's green earth, this is where a lot of civilians and these politicians have no clue unless you've carried that clearance. They go back 10 years. They scrutinize your whole life.
That is unless you work for Trump.
No. I'm saying before she even worked for Trump, the crazy part about this is, and this is where I have more knowledge on this than you because I held it, they scrutinize your life. And when Hillary Clinton tried to say she was this whole Assad and Russian, whatever, doesn't happen like that, Paulie. No way in hell. No way in hell that you can hide that shit. No way. So I'm just sharing that with you.
It wasn't hidden. It wasn't hidden. They found it all.
No, I'm telling you, no, dude. This is where
they found it. They found it all. What are you talking about? There's literal intelligence reports and criminal reports about freaking the Russian interference in our election.
You wouldn't get issued a top secret with SCI if you had.
You do realize that Donald Trump gets to just overrule that whenever he wants, right?
No, she held the TSSCI way before he ever came along.
Okay, cool, man. So, I really don't give a fuck about Tulsi Gabbard. Why the fuck are we talking about Tulsi Gabbard?
Well, no,
the literally most insignificant person in this entire freaking administration. Like that means almost fucking nothing. Like, why am I talking about Tulsi Gabbard right now?
Well, you said, am I supportive of Trump? So he's either going to die, get out of office. So we have to start thinking about replacement.
No, we don't.
And okay.
We'll start thinking about replacements in a couple years. How about this? You sit back and think about replacements. I'll catch up to you in a couple years. Okay.
Called being proactive, Paulie.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about it. But sir, it's not reactive to be understanding of a plan that will happen in the future. Okay.
Prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
Yes.
And you're not.
If we had thought about that before voting in Donald Trump, we wouldn't have a worsening economy. Okay.
Right. But you haven't voted yourself.
In the 2028 election? No, I have not.
No. You have not voted for anybody. You haven't.
What are you talking about? I vote every election, local, state, federal, all of them.
What your callers don't know, Paulie, about you is you got this other little girl named Mermaid. She sounds like your clone, your little girlfriend, fiance, running another racket where you guys are collecting money off people.
And what does this have to do with voting?
What I'm saying is you're fooling people. You haven't voted once, dude.
Oh, yep. You caught me, dude. I've never
You didn't vote in
voted.
Colorado. When you lived in Colorado.
What makes you think I ever lived in Colorado?
Really?
Really?
That's my background, dude. I know people. I find information. It's easy. You went from Colorado to Florida.
Oh, really? I did. That's
yeah,
cool.
you did.
That's cool.
And you got a little girlfriend, so-called girlfriend, that's running a little racket called Mermaid. She sounds just like you. You're a clone.
Oh, that's crazy.
And your people don't know it.
Yeah.
So have a good night, bud. You're fooling everybody.
Guys,
and by the way,
guys,
you better pay your taxes on all the money you're collecting. You better pay your taxes.
Here's my racket. She's
You
at
better pay
Mermaid.
your taxes,
She's
dude.
at
You're
Mermaid
collecting money
RE0.
illegally on all your callers.
In case you're curious, she's at
Do
Mermaid
not donate to this, dude. You're a fool. Have a good night. Have a good night.
This is my racket. Like, guys, would you like to meet the other racket that I have? I appreciate that. Mermaid RE0. You can follow her. She runs an awesome live also.
Hail Satan.
Can we get a hail Satan in the chat? I really appreciate that. Freaking that escalated quickly. That escalated quickly. Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna move on to the next caller. That crash out happened pretty fast. Good citizen, thank you so much for the jewels. Also, lady, thank you so much for the jewels. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I guess we're on it. Y'all, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. That's apparently the racket. That's she decided to make an appearance while she was here. Y'all, if you'd like to support the live, I do have super chats open, even though I can't throw them on the screen. If you guys like support, I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I'm sorry?
Do you still support Trump?
No, I don't. I was just wondering why you're intellectually dishonest.
I don't know, just for fun. Anyways, I'm gonna move on to the next person since you don't support Trump. Have a good day. All right, just because it sounded fun that day. I don't know. By the way, I've never lived in Colorado a day in my life. Just thought I'd let you guys know that. I've never lived in Colorado a single day in my life. I visited twice, maybe three times.
Neither, buddy.
Beautiful state, though. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
30.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
What's on your mind?
I don't know. That dude, what was that dude throwing out there?
I don't know. He. Sometimes you got to keep Grandpa.
I caught the back end of it, of him trailing out, and that man was never in the military.
Hold on, real quick. I am now on TikTok. I am now at 66,600 likes. So that's 6.6. Can I get 666 in the chat? Hail Satan! I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyways, sorry. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Thank you so much, Tati. I appreciate that. Anyways, why do you still support Trump?
I do support the deportations only because I'm a trade worker. But I mean, we do have peace in the Middle East
No, we don't.
In substantial terms, we do. Technical terms, we do. I'm sorry.
No, in technical terms, we definitely
I've
don't.
had a few beers. Forgive me if I.
Oh, you too. All right.
Sorry.
Well, I guess it's maybe I need to grab one. Maybe I need to get on y'all's level. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe. So what do you? Okay, so I'm a trade worker. I'm a welder. I'm a pipe welder. And a lot of our trade, a big problem with our trade in welding now. So I've followed it for 15 years. 15 years ago, 140,000 welders was needed that year. That was 2012, or it's 2025, so 2013, or whatever. And now the trade is so flooded with people that will work for less, that are legal, that have, and I work with the people. I know when they came into the country, we worked together 70 hours a week. They tell me they came in, almost all of them came in within the last 4 years, which I don't care. I understand it's kind of better than life.
No offense, sir. If an undocumented undocumented immigrant travels from like Venezuela and across the Darien Gap and sneaks across the border and takes your job, I really just don't feel like it was your job to begin with.
Well, they don't take my job, but they work with me. And if the guy hiring me can pay another guy to do the same job that will take it for $10 less, it takes $10 away from an American. You know what I mean?
Or those companies should just not do that.
They absolutely shouldn't do that. But
so we should hire regulate companies.
Yeah, I agree.
So let me ask you a question. How many countries?
I'm also just a welder. I don't have a college degree. I got to go where the job is.
Sir, let's just make this really easy. How many
job.
companies in the United States probably you think hire undocumented migrants?
I think every company in America would and can, unless they have corporate policies against it.
They do have. We have federal laws against it.
I mean, I won't say the name of my last company I worked at.
I don't need a name of any company, sir. I'm just trying to get down to a little bit of a logic here, okay?
Well, they use one supervisor that's there on a work visa, and they use his tax ID number, and he hires a lot of his friends and cousins or whoever he wants. This is just my last company. They hire whoever they want. And
I'd like to finish. I'd like to finish my statement first. Cool. Let's just say, we know where all the companies are, okay? Because they're registered in the United States.
You know where their addresses are,
Yeah. So wouldn't it be a lot easier just to find the companies and actually regulate them to a point where they don't do that?
You're talking about more government regulation. That's more taxes. That's more money.
Yeah. So is deporting people.
That means that people like me that already pay 23%.
Gotcha. So you're okay with you're okay with you paying for the removal of undocumented immigrants, because the removal of all undocumented immigrants would cost about $2 trillion.
Yeah, that's I'm paying the same. I'm paying the same tax that I paid.
No, it would not cost $2 trillion to put more regulation on companies.
I'm paying the same tax.
It wouldn't cost 10% of that.
I don't want to pay more money to help those people, or help homeless people, or help.
So you would rather pay money to hurt them?
More money on taxes. The Boston Tea Party happened over a 2% tax. Now we're at 23%, and now socialists and communists
it is not.
But
anyway, sir,
you would rather money in tax.
You would rather spend money to hurt people than spend money to help people. That is what you're saying.
No, I don't want to hurt anybody.
That is what you're saying, sir.
I work with many undocumented immigrants. I work with a lot of them, and a lot of them are really good workers. A lot of them are really good people. But I also work with a lot of people that are not good people, and they're not family people, and they don't want to be American.
Sir,
they're here.
Sir, with all due respect, I'm going to let you get back to your liquor cabinet, because this conversation is not much of a conversation. Just being completely honest with you. Like, I understand you have a few beers, and honestly, like, I'm all for you having those beers. This is America. I hope you enjoy whatever you're having tonight, and I really appreciate that, but it is not very conducive to intelligent conversation, just being completely honest with you. So I hope you have a wonderful night, okay?
I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
No worries, man.
Too,
have a good one. All right. Bye-bye. Just being honest, all right? Just being honest. Not trying to be a dick, but not very conducive. There's only one person on this live who can have a bunch of beers and still have intelligent conversation, and that's me. Okay? That's me. I'm the only one allowed to do that on this live. All right. Mindspeak, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, hey, MAGAs, why you guys have a problem with people who has come to make better life for themselves, but you guys don't have a problem with Melania's visas? MAGAs are two-faced. Oh, yeah. I mean, Donald Trump's dad was an immigrant. His grandpa was, he's a son of an immigrant. His dad was an immigrant. His grandson of an immigrant, or sorry, I guess actually he's not an immigrant. His dad was an immigrant, right? Son of an immigrant. So, and then two of his wives are immigrants, right? So he seems to like immigrants quite a bit. I guess just the white ones. He's put a lot of laws in to help white South Africans right now. So the Afrikaners over here. So, all right, we're gonna move on to the next caller. And I will tell you, I do kind of want a beer after that last caller. Woo! Thank you so much, Mindseed, for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate that. I wish my little thing was working today. I can't seem to get it going, so I don't think it's gonna work for the night. But maybe it's just down for the night. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 44.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Some of his policies I do.
Yeah. I didn't ask you to pick out a policy or two. Do you support the man?
Some policies I do. Well, what do you understand?
Because if you're gonna say some policies you do, I'm gonna ask you how whatever policies that you support are better, okay, are more important to you than the policies that I think are horrible.
Okay, what policy you think are horrible?
Well, I would have to know which policies you think are right first, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I support deportation for illegals.
Okay. That's it?
So can we start there?
No, you can tell me all of them and then we'll go from there.
Oh, well, I'll just end there.
Okay, awesome. So can you please explain to me, okay, how Donald Trump literally using the military against his own people, shooting down random fishermen's boats and murdering people in the middle of nowhere, sending immigrants to freaking torture prisons, okay, and freaking having our unemployment raise, our inflation rate rise, and jobs go down, all right? So literally destroying our economy while literally isolating us from our allies and making us more susceptible to attack in our country. Can you please explain to me how you getting rid of immigrants is somehow better than that, more important than all of those things?
All right. Well, where do we start? Let's start from the beginning. They're illegal. So let's just start there.
Gotcha. Guys, we're going to go into World War III and our economy is going to crash, but they're illegal. Okay. Yeah, that was great. That was good.
Okay, that's for the start, but can I continue?
Sure.
All right, number two, they have their own country. So what the fuck do you need to be here? Or are we allowed to cuss?
Woo! Wait, guys, we are on economy crashed, but they were illegal and have their own country. Well, I'm going to be so happy when the destruction of America happens because those immigrants had their own country.
Yeah. I'm sure you are, but like I said, I'm worried. Are we allowed to cuss? You didn't answer that question. You like went on some other stuff. Are we allowed to curse or no? I'm trying to respect your Why?
Podcast. You're not showing respect for anybody else. Just continue on with your dumb points.
What do you mean? Bro, check it out, man. My people come from, I'm a descendant of slaves.
I could not give a fuck. Make your point.
Okay, I know you couldn't. But anyway, like I said, my people lived here, worked here, died here, bled here, fought in every war. So if you have your own fucking country, some people got to die, my friend. No, not everybody can be prosperous. Not everybody can live their life out and ball and have the American dream. If you have your own country.
You do realize that.
Hold on, sir. If you have your own country, be a grown-ass man, go back home and fight for your country. Fight for your children.
And you should go back to Africa.
Fight for your great-grandchildren. Fight for your lineage.
Then go back to
Change
Africa.
your country. We're not from Africa.
Where are you from then?
That's a bad misconception. I'm from America.
Where's your ethnicity from? Take a 23.
America.
Oh no.
From
when
America.
when we go back in history, okay, if you're a slave here, then your ancestors were brought here
you're a slave
from another country.
Into a whole other country, then you're a whole other people. When you mix in with the indigenous and the white people that raped your people, you're a whole other group of people. We're not African.
Oh, gotcha.
You get that?
So when Mexican people, okay, who were here in this country first, okay,
Uh-huh.
have now integrated through, through sleeping with people and having kids that are, part Mexican, all that sort of stuff, part Venezuela. They have now become
Uh-huh.
part of our country and part of our culture. So actually these
But do they
immigrants,
have citizenship?
so
Do they
actually,
have
sir,
citizenship? Do they have citizenship?
sir, I'm speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So actually, if you want to make that claim, then the Latinos that are actually coming over here have more right to this land and more right to this culture than you do.
They don't. They sold
do. They
the
were here
land.
for-
They got paid.
No.
They got paid for it. They sold
No.
the land and they got paid for
No,
it.
the
So
Europeans,
you don't get to double dip.
the
You don't get to double
Europeans,
dip.
the Europeans stole the land, and while some
How
governments
did they
might,
steal
sir,
the land? How did they
sir,
steal
sir,
the land
sir,
when Mexico
sir,
got
sir,
served?
sir.
I'm asking you a question.
No,
You
you're not
can't just
asking me
ramble on
anything. It
these
is time for you to be
non-facts.
fucking quiet.
Did they not get paid $15
I'm
million
not. I
for the
will.
land?
I will mute you so
Sir,
fast.
did they
I will
get
not
paid
care.
$15 million for the land,
Sir, did the people that were on the fucking land that
Sir,
didn't
did
get to
they
move?
Get paid $15
No,
million
they did
for
not.
the land, sir. Can you answer
No.
the question? So the government of Mexico didn't get paid $15 million.
Well, I'm
for the
not
land.
talking about the government of Mexico. If you'd shut the fuck up and
The
listen, you'd know
people of
that.
the government, sir. The people of the government.
All right. Well, you're
The
getting
government's
muted
not
now.
from-
Goodbye. All right. Now no one can hear you. So what I was saying was, while you want to yell and holler, okay, was the people that were left here that integrated into the culture, they didn't get paid anything. The lines were drawn around them. Okay. So therefore, their heritage and their culture, okay, was here before yours was. Okay. Just because some government someplace else got paid does not change that. All right. But the Latin culture in this country has more of a right to this country than you do. All right.
Sir, how do they have a right to the country when they didn't build the country? There was no country here. This was North America, the continent. My people built the country. So they don't have any claim to this land at all. What are you talking about?
Actually, they have built this country completely.
They're actually, they inhabited what? They got paid for their land and they went to another land.
They didn't go
What are you
anywhere.
talking about?
They stayed right here.
So do they have citizenship, sir?
Sir, does citizenship required? Are indigenous people
Do
not?
they have, sir,
Sir,
why are you
do-
dancing around the question? Do
do
they have
indigenous-
citizenship or not? If they were here in the
Some of them
beginning
do,
the
some
country,
of
they
them
would have
don't.
citizenship. Okay, so if they don't, they need to go to where they do. Is that a problem?
What if they don't have citizenship anywhere?
Then shit, they got to go somewhere and get citizenship.
Well,
They gotta
okay.
go
So
through
how
a
about here?
route. Sir? Yeah, they go through the proper channels and get it. What's the
Perfect.
problem?
Let's make proper channels for them to be able to get it here.
What's not proper now?
What's not proper now that it takes 8 to 10 years to do it, and Donald Trump is literally deporting people that are trying to get it done?
Okay, so it's better to let what 20 million people over just with no information of where they're from, who they are.
Wow,
and
that's a
what their
straw
background
man
is.
and a half,
That's
sir.
better?
That's a straw man argument if
Well-
I've ever fucking heard
Well,
one.
well, no. What do you mean? That's
No,
the opposite
sir.
of what you're talking
You
about.
said
So
that
where's the
people
middle
should be
ground?
able to go someplace and be able to get citizenship. I agree. Okay. So I say that
Okay.
we need to open up abilities for people in the United States to be able to get citizenship easier. Okay.
So how-
And Donald
how have
Trump
there been
and
immigrants
sir,
before,
sir, be quiet.
I'm sorry.
Okay?
Go ahead.
Be quiet.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Okay. Let's also be very clear that when Europeans came over here, there was no concept of citizenship either. Okay. When the Irish came here, there was no concept of gaining citizenship. When the Polish came here, there was no concept of gaining citizenship. When the British came here, there was no concept of gaining citizenship.
Can I ask you
No,
what
you
that
can be
means, sir?
quiet.
Can I ask you?
No,
what
you can
concept
be
of
quiet.
citizenship means?
No, you can be quiet. Perfect. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. Well,
Okay.
continue,
When the
sorry.
slaves were brought over here, there was no concept of citizenship. Okay. None of those people had a concept of what the citizenship of the United States meant, because the citizenship of the United States wasn't established until the 14th Amendment. Let me be very clear that the 13th Amendment comes before the 14th Amendment. And you know what the 13th Amendment did, right, sir?
I believe so.
What did the 13th Amendment do?
Actually, I'm not sure. What did he do?
Okay, 13th Amendment is what outlawed slavery in the United States. It removed the ability for people to own slaves. So slaves were released, and then citizenship was in.
What was the except
There
for
was
what?
lots of exceptions in there, sir, but that has nothing to do with my point, so please be quiet.
I'm just trying to be clear, but go ahead.
No, you're not. You're trying to freaking rattle off stuff in the middle of it, okay?
Continue, sir.
So,
Continue,
since the
sir.
13th Amendment, okay, did that, it wasn't until the 14th Amendment when people were able to become citizens. So, you're right. No, the people that were left here in the United States didn't have citizenship because citizenship didn't exist yet. When the white people came over here, there was no concept of citizenship. So they also didn't have citizenship because citizenship didn't exist yet. When black slaves were brought over here, there was no concept of citizenship, so they didn't have citizenship. Citizenship is something that we created later. Okay, for people that were already here, all right, and specifically they did that for an ability to just try to keep people out that they didn't like. Let's also remember. Let's also remember. No, all right, sir. I will just mute you, sir. That's fine. I'm gonna go as long as I want because it's my live, and if you have a problem with that, you can leave. All right. All right. So here's what's gonna happen, sir. Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm going to continue
sir.
talking again.
Don't mute me like a bitch. Just go ahead, sir.
Okay. Here's what's gonna happen. If you cut me on again, the next
Go
off
ahead,
again.
sir. I just cut you off again. So go.
All right. Well, there you go. I said if you cut me off again, I was gonna hang up on you. That was pretty simple. Okay, sir. So I am totally okay with freaking leaving a spot open for people to be able to have citizenship, and I'm also okay with strong immigration policies. I think that those are both important. Okay, but what I wanted to know from you, which is why the question that I asked you, was how freaking getting migrants out of this country is more important to you than all the negatives that are happening under the Donald Trump administration and all the negative ways that Donald Trump is removing those migrants. Okay. We can have a middle ground. We can have an understanding of both sides of things and be able to have a logical conversation about it. All right. Now, I would like you to go ahead and respond to that. Oh, wait, that's right. You can't because you're not here because you couldn't control yourself because you're a child. That's right. My bad. Y'all, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Mindspeak, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says Mexico went to war with colonialism because Mexico was against slavery. This caller is dumb. Learn some history. Stupid. I agree with all of those. And thanks everybody for the jewels that I see in there. I see so many jewels, so I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to one more caller. Hopefully one that's a little better than that guy. It is too late in the evening to just be hollering like that, dude. Again, I haven't had a beer yet tonight, so I can't be listening to all this craziness, all right? Need somebody to get their shit together, all right? Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
30.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What's on your mind?
Well, you know, all this talk about immigration, I think what you guys were just talking about is definitely at the forefront of my mind right now.
What were we just talking about? You could keep track of what we were talking about? Because I couldn't, because it was just him yelling.
Yeah, to your credit, to your point, I feel you on that. Yeah, that's a tough subject though. I understand what he was trying to get at.
No, you don't, because he doesn't.
Oh, don't tell me what I don't understand.
I'm telling you what he didn't understand.
You told me I don't understand. I'm just saying. Like,
well, sir, I'm saying it's impossible for you to understand something. You said you understand what he was getting at, and he didn't know what he was getting at. So you can't possibly know the answer to what he was trying to get at if he didn't know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, whatever you say, man, for sure.
How about we forget about what he said and let's just move to what you want to say?
Okay. Yeah, sure. That stuff about like immigration and citizenship, you were making good points about the citizenship thing being a new thing. Like it's just a fact what you were saying, that citizenship was not around when this country was founded. You mind if I ask you something though? Because I know you're here to ask
but I'm about to ask you the same question that I just asked that other guy. If you want to talk about immigration, because I do bore of talking about immigration. Okay. It really does bore me. And here's the reason why. It's the only thing you guys got. It's literally the only thing that Trump supporters have, right? The only thing that is repeated over and over and over and over, right? His number one thing is just immigration, right? He shit on the economy. He shit on domestic policy. He's shit on foreign policy, right? He's almost every promise that he's made, he's broken, okay? Or not fulfilled in any way, shape, and form. Right. And you guys have the one thing, right, which is immigration, which the only reason that you have Donald Trump's ability to fix immigration is because Biden tried to fix it. Donald Trump stopped Biden from being able to fix it, specifically so he could say Biden was bad on immigration. And it's all you guys talk about. Right. And it's just sad to me. It's just sad to me. It's sad to me that with all of the horrible negatives that are going on, both domestically, both with foreign policy, with the economy, with Donald Trump's character, okay? With all of those things that are going on, right? That all you guys want to fucking talk about is immigration and immigration and trans people, and it's just ridiculous to me. It's really sad.
Okay. Well, I also actually, you know where I think we would agree. The problem is I wouldn't bring up like a number of issues because it might turn into a boring stream. But I'll tell you, you and I probably both agree on the Epstein thing. Like I think I forget her name, the mermaid chick. She was asking people like, what are 3 lies that Trump said this year? And nobody brought this up, but like he said that the Epstein files were a Democrat hoax. Like if we get into that, it might turn into a boring thing, but like I agree with you on that. And I actually like talking about that, but you know, in a situation like this where I'm being asked why I support Trump, that's, you know, I definitely don't support him because of his stance on Epstein.
But sir, let's be honest about it, okay? It's weird to
I
now.
am being honest with you.
Yeah, no, we are going to be honest now. Okay, you were honest. I'm not saying you weren't honest. Now we're going to be honest. Okay, it's crazy to care about that now. In my opinion, okay, in my opinion, all right, it's crazy to care about that now.
Why?
Donald Trump has been friends with Epstein for decades. Okay, the girls that Epstein freaking that Epstein trafficked and abused said that Epstein talked to them about him being friends with Trump. Right? Had pictures of Trump and Epstein together in their his sex island, right? His freaking abuse island, right? Like we've known all of this for a long time, right? We've known that freaking Trump and Epstein were really good friends. We know Donald Trump has bragged about going into dressing rooms of underage girls to see them naked in Miss Teen USA pageants. We know that he sexualized a 10-year-old, said he had sex in common with his daughter, right? We know that Donald Trump has been a freaking complete sexual deviant who cheated on his first wife with his second wife with his third wife with a porn star, and then used a campaign finance law or broke campaign finance law by freaking trying to cover that up from the American people. We know Donald Trump is not a good person when it comes to this thing. It's just weird that the files are the problem, when if your problem was with Donald Trump's sexual deviance, you should have never supported him to begin with.
Well, okay. Can we be fair though? Like most Trump voters didn't even know like much about the Epstein thing. This stuff has been coming out. It's actually shocked the MAGA movement. A lot of conservatives don't consider themselves MAGA anymore. I'm sure you've had a lot of callers that voted for Trump and they're like, I'm not really MAGA, but I'm definitely conservative. That's a lot of people.
But I'm talking to you, sir. You're the one who says you still support Trump.
One of them. Well, you want to blanket 100%. Like, do I support him or not support him? I support the immigration thing, and I don't support him on the Epstein thing. As a previous supporter, like a previous like gung ho, like I'm willing to be like, yo, this guy needs to be looked at. And I think
did you vote for him?
People should do that. Yeah, I did.
Okay. So and let's be clear. Before you voted for him, he was adjudicated in a court of law for sexual assault.
Yeah, but like of course I didn't know that, and a lot of people didn't know this relationship that he had with Epstein. So you what you should be asking is like, did I know? Or like
no, my question is why didn't you know? We had the president of the United States that was sued for
my radar.
Sir, there was the president of the United States was sued for sexual assault, lost to a unanimous jury, okay, which said in the city of New York said if this was like a criminal case, because we can't try it criminally because it was past the statute of limitations. Because at the time, New York had a statute of limitations on sexual assault, right?
Okay.
This would be a rape charge, but this is what we can do, and so awarded him money for it because that's how civil courts work, right? And it's just crazy to me that a former president and presidential candidate that you're voting for, like that you just didn't do enough research to find that out, man. And that's what's weird to me, right? Like if a Democratic candidate or someone on the left or someone that I support like went to court for stealing a Snickers bar, I would know about it. Like Donald Trump's a felon and you still voted for him. It just seems weird to me.
Well, he's not a felon for sexual assault, but everything you just said about like, I don't know about all that, but like, yeah, like that sounds reasonable. But like blaming me for like not knowing, like, bro, I'm not going to be, if I don't know something, I'm not going to be Googling like Trump, sexual assault, connections to Epstein. Like, if I didn't know back then, I wouldn't be typing those in. You know what I mean?
Sir,
So
it
it's
was
like most
front
of us,
page
and a lot of
news
people that are listening,
on
I just
every
wanna
news
say, like, a lot of
agency
people
on the
listening,
planet.
it just comes across our radar.
Sir,
Well, I don't watch the news for one thing. I
Sir,
don't know if you do, but
I don't watch the
networks
news,
or
sir, but I
television.
do. I sure read it. Okay, and literally, left, right
So do I.
wing does not matter. Not even American. Every single news agency on the planet was reporting on that. Like, I just don't know how you miss it. Like, how. And this
Well,
might
if you,
come up. This might
yeah,
come off slightly disrespectful, but like, and I don't know if I mean it that way or not. But like,
okay.
how can you live in this country, right?
Mm.
That where we have a democracy, something that a lot of countries don't have, right? And have presidential candidates that are running year and a half long fucking campaigns, right? And then at the end of all of that, vote for someone and not know like the most minimal things about their history.
I'll say it's pretty substantial, but I get what you're saying. Like the Epstein thing is something that you would want to know. A lot of us are, I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody on the planet, but like, I'm sure a lot of people are pretty pissed off because like, and not just, I'm not talking about like Trump voters, like, oh, we got like blindsided. No, we should have done our research. But, you know, I can't imagine that you've supported somebody and never had something come up and be like, oh shit, I shouldn't have supported this person.
Correct.
Uh,
I definitely have.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
it just happens to all of us.
But none of mine were for
Um,
president, and none of them were felons, and none of them were adjudicated sexual assaulters. Like that's like
Yeah.
a big difference, right? Like that's a big
True.
difference. Because again, when I supported them, and then they were elected, and then we found out the bad stuff, and then I stopped supporting them once they were elected. All of this stuff happened before you voted for him, right?
Right.
Like, and
Yeah.
it's not like it was
should've
like
known.
just on
I
the
mean, I should've-
news, right? Like you can't log on to a social media site, any social media, you know, like I'm on 3 right now. You could have logged on to any one of them and all of them would have told you this information, right? Like, I don't know how you possibly missed it. Like,
Well, can I offer you something? Like, I mean, this is the thing about social media. So, on one hand, you had Trump and like that Kash Patel guy like talking about going after the Epstein files during his campaign, and also like the main question that you asked, or the main like wondering that you have about like, oh, you don't know how it didn't come across people's radar. We get like totally different feeds, like you know about all this stuff, like social media. You're a guy that's you know doing it on a platform. Like we all get different stuff in our feeds that reinforce like what we want to see, and you know this stuff blew up, and I thank God that it did. I don't thank Satan, by the way. I don't know what all that stuff was earlier about the hailing.
Hail
I know it was
Satan!
ingest. Yeah, it was some ingest stuff. I hope, but like you know for you, but yeah, no, like the stuff on social media, it's just a curated feed. And I think that would explain like why myself and many other people didn't see this stuff. I don't know if you're trying to like, I don't want to make assumptions or like, but you're not trying to imply that like I did know, right? Or like that I just like looked away and buried my head in the sand.
there's
Because,
only
like,
2 things that happen, sir.
why-
Either one, you did know and you're saying that you didn't, which I don't know. I don't know inside your brain. I don't know inside,
Right.
whatever. Or
Okay.
2, you didn't know,
That's
and
fair.
that makes me very, very disappointed in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be
Yeah,
disappointed. I'm
that
disappointed
makes
in
me
you.
incredibly disappointed that the current presidential candidate for the Republican Party can be adjudicated of sexual assault, and there's anyone in America who doesn't know it. Anyone. My teenage daughter knew it, and I
Can
didn't
you tell
tell
me
her.
what adjudicated?
Okay.
Can you tell me what adjudicated means?
Found liable for, right? Found in a court of law.
Found liable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But not like, but that's different from convicted.
It's
like-
it's guilty in a civil court.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So it's basically that. Yeah. It's basically like a conviction, but it's a civil.
Correct.
It's weird that it was a civil case.
Again, it was a
Wouldn't
civil
that be a
case
crime?
because the statute of limitations had ran out in New York.
Gotcha. Okay.
You're familiar with
Well-
statute of limitations, right?
Yeah. If a certain amount of time passes, they can't be held liable or that kind of thing.
They can't be convicted in a court of in a criminal court.
Okay, that's great. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not particularly great, but yeah.
Well, they've changed that
yeah,
rule
no,
since, but anyway, sir, what I will say is the president of the United States is pretty important. Okay?
Mhm.
President of the United States is pretty important. They kind of like, well, at least was the leader of the free world, supposed to represent democracy, supposed to, holds the largest military in the world, most powerful military in the world in the palm of his hands. Probably a good idea to know who you're voting for. And if you can't find out, like, hey, is he like a super bad guy? Then I would advise doing a little bit more research next time. My opinion.
Well, yeah, you're probably going to see a lot of conservatives actually be active against Trump who previously voted for him. You're going to see a lot of that. But
Yeah,
those people are going to be even harder on immigration. They're going to be harder against the foreign wars. You don't know. I don't know if you know what's coming as far as that stuff goes, but it's coming hard. And Trump's accelerating it by hiding these Epstein files, being a friend to Israel. These things are coming.
Again, Donald Trump said before he got elected that he would support Israel and give them whatever they wanted. So, again, these are things he said before he was elected. So, research is important for everyone out there. Research things.
Research. Every president says that though. Like, so what?
So
we're not going to get a president that doesn't say, "Oh, I'm going to be for Israel," or "We should be
for Israel." Is one thing. I will give them whatever they want, and I will make sure that Netanyahu has our full array of any weapons that he wants to do whatever he wants. Is a big difference.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that. Do you feel that way? Do you want Israel to have all like that kind of backing?
They're committing a fucking genocide. Of course, I don't want them to have our support.
Okay,
but
yeah, it's like an ethnic replacement.
It's an ethnic cleansing, really, if you want to. But that's what a genocide is. But anyways, I'm going to move on to the next caller. I think you should hit subscribe, just like all the other people out there should hit subscribe, because I feel like you would have a lot to learn with when it comes to politics, and there's nothing wrong with that, with knowing that you have a lot to learn. But we don't have that long until the midterm, so
yeah, hopefully
we'll get you educated before then, huh?
As well.
Yeah, man. All right, sounds good.
Maybe
Well,
you can subscribe to my channel. See ya.
Yeah, sounds good. I will not be doing that. Don't even know what your channel is. So, all right. Well, do I take one more? I don't know. It is getting kind of late. It is getting kind of late. No, I better get offline. I forgot. I have to be up early tomorrow. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. No, I have to get off. I forgot I have to be up early tomorrow. All right. I forgot. I have something I have to go to in the morning. So, I will see you guys on Saturday morning. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. All right. Love you guys. And thank you guys so much for the support. All right. Have a wonderful couple nights off. Remember to follow me on all the other platforms of whatever one you're on. And go watch my new video that I posted today. All right. See you guys later. Bye.